to build diversity on your team. So employ people from different walks of life. From get ideas from people from like their own pain point perspective. If you're trying to solve a problem and you can only see it in one way, then maybe you're not solving the problem for everyone. Maybe you're just solving your own problem, and that's okay. But then if you want to expand, you need to get like more views on stuff. Building your team. When you're building your team, you have to note that everyone that's part of this process is a part of the experience. And from the the program manager to down to the developer to the designer to the marketing team to everybody on the team is part of this experience. So you need to make sure that people are able to contribute and everyone has like a clear sense that accessibility is important in what we are trying to do. We're trying to make sure that we cater for people's needs. And I know that at somewhere along the line you would wonder, oh, can I solve everyone's problem? But we'll get to that. But if you notice that everyone on your team is part of the experience, you might try to like get people that understand what's what you're trying to do, so that you avoid having people like me on your team saying, whose side are you on? Especially when somebody says, we'll think of accessibility down the line, the roadmap. I'm like, no, you can get it, you can start building from the scratch and you don't need to overthink it. It's kind of like adding semantic text to your using semantic syntax, adding proper descriptions, adding like adding what's it called, using services that allow you to like scale up, add alt text to your images, the simple things before you start to like push on, okay, how do we change a this to that, or how do I do this, and then you're like, I'm stressed out, I can't do this anymore. Another thing I want to focus on is the product. Now, while building the product, there's always this tendency for people to want to do it their way. Like, for example, I used to work with this design. I have a friend that's a designer. We used to work on side projects. He would always like say, I don't like how the normal buttons look. I want to do like a button that does this and does that. And I'm like, bro, all this is nice, but if we can, we need to be able to use the button element and use what is provided. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, don't reinvent the wheel. Don't try to do something that is totally not accessible, but then because it looks nice doesn't mean that it feels nice, right? So you need to like make sure that you're using like convention, but then you can add your own touch. You know, you can add your own design of something. Like this shirt I'm putting on is a conventional like t-shirt, right? But then it has like its logo, so you know it's different from polo t-shirt, for example. Because when you try to reinvent the wheel, you have the user wondering, this is a bicycle or this is just a statue or something. And I just want to put this out there that links should be used for navigation and buttons should be a call to action, because most people confuse the two and then it creates a lot of problems. Like imagine if I turned off the lights in my living room and I turned it back on and I'm in someone else's living room. That would that wouldn't be it wouldn't be nice, right? So let's not do that to our users. Let's do the right thing. And I mentioned this problem before when I said, can you solve everyone's accessibility needs? And the answer is no. You can't solve everybody's accessibility needs, but you can solve as much as you can the way that you can the product that you're trying to build. It's always important to say, it's always important to ask yourself the question of, have I really done all that I can? And also, let's try to like do like research when we're trying to like build for a product. So you want to get like research, you want to do user interviews, you want to ask people from their own perspectives, you want to get all of those things, you want to collaborate with people that are in your industry, if that works for you, or like, you know, try to just really just get the information that you that you can. Another thing to do with your research that you've gotten is to create a knowledge base. So it's always nice to have a place for people to reference. Anyone that comes into your company or comes into your team knows that, hey, on this team we take accessibility seriously. We try to make sure that we are adding the things where it's supposed to be, and they were doing the best that we can. Pay people for their time. So when you're doing these interviews and when you're doing like all of the and when you're doing like all of the research and getting all of the knowledge that you need to be able to build your product that would eventually make you money, pay people that are helping you to do this. It's important to pay these people. And after you build, please test the product. It's very important to make sure that it works. Test it by yourself. Give it to people that you've built it for. See how they use it. I've always had this. I've asked my friend that's a designer. I'm like, if you design something and you give it to somebody that is not in tech, and you say, maybe you give it to like a business person and say, hey, take, can you use this app? What do you think this app does? And this person tells you the total opposite of what you built the app to do, then you see that you have to go back to the drawing board.